All right, we are live. Feels good to be back. Another episode of Tick Podcast. Before we get into things, man, what you guys been playing lately?
Oh, me? I've been doing my pony best lately, and just finished Uncharted 3. I'm all prepared to do Uncharted
I've been seeing
4.
your screenshots on Twitter. It's been weird to see you share PS4 content. I expect something like that from Brandon.
It's Microsoft's fault. they need to have a direct to Twitter easy thing like that. Like, it's Microsoft's fault. If dude, I guarantee I would have an extra 20,000 tweets if Microsoft had that feature. I do screenshots all the time, and I go through and delete all of them. But
I actually haven't had a chance to play much of anything, man. I've been running around with family and kids, and took a little mini vacation, so I actually haven't had a chance to really touch any games too much lately. But Destiny's right around the corner, so I'm looking forward to that, man.
Oh man, I am cracking my skull trying to play this Conan, knowing this game broke as hell, bro. Like, why do I put myself through the torture? Like, I knew Ark was the same way, and I stuck it out with Ark, but Conan, bro. Don't get me wrong though, the devs have definitely been super what's what I'm looking for? They have been very good at getting patches out, actually better than most developers, and I've been really impressed with their work. But the last patch they put out was pretty bad, man. It didn't do well at all, and they had to roll it back. And I got raided twice. Like, it's a lot of stuff in there. I'm definitely going to talk about it during the show. I want to touch on it a little bit because this is a big game for Microsoft and something that they were putting out in August. And I think a lot of people are glossing over, but the game is phenomenal. Listen, if all the guys out there right now that's joining the show, I want to thank you for stopping in. We appreciate you as always. This will be our new time and our new day. We will be moving Tick Podcast to Saturdays at 10 p.m. We will also be trying to do our best to get here as early as possible. I do apologize for the late start. Check us out, man. We got a Patreon up right now for the fans out there who want to support us, that is looking to help us continue to grow and things like that. We have a Patreon that you can donate to, whether it's $1, whether it's $2. Not donate, but actually subscribe. We're giving you some value for any sub that you like to sub to within the Patreon on the tier. So just, out of the courtesy of your heart, handing us a few bucks, go ahead and join the tier and make us work for you. So greatly appreciate any support that we get out of that. Not
to mention one of the tiers is a giveaway. Like, no joke. Like, dude, it's a giveaway. You're at the ground floor right now. That's guaranteed. Like,
it's actually two giveaways on top of that, actually. But we'll discuss it a little bit and get into it and let the fans know what's going on with that. Listen, we got the new network going on. We introduced the Iron Lord podcast. Shout out to Cog, King David, Addict, and Sav, and those guys over there at the Iron Lord squad. Greatly appreciate all the support that these guys have given Tick, and I am very happy that they are now a part of the Tick family. Been doing a great job so far, and I'm very appreciative for that. And of course, we have a ton of new shows that we're working on. Planet Xbox is now part of Tick Network as well, and you'll be able to catch those special episodes on the Patreon only. So if you're looking for some really cool content, make sure you check out the Patreon and sub on the Patreon. So listen, let's get the show started. We got a lot to talk about, man, because it is bananas right now with Microsoft, Xbox One X, all this news, all these games coming out. Going both ways. So I'm definitely excited to talk about it. I want to get everybody's opinions and thoughts on it, and maybe take some questions after the show. So let's let the show begin. Welcome to the Inner Circle Podcast, the premier podcast for Xbox One. I'm your host, KLRS Kellel, with B Money 101.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
And Anchorman V.
Hey, everybody, it's Anchorman here, and let's start the show.
and we are the Inner Circle. Listen, Microsoft just came off of Gamescom, which, you know, we didn't really hold a Gamescom show. I actually had a small rant on Twitter about Gamescom. And if the show wasn't impressive, it's not that I was looking for anything from them. I just felt like the show was just super lazy. You know what I'm saying? And it's no disrespect to what Microsoft was trying to do. But anytime you watch Gamescom over the past years, they've had a stage. They've tried to present things on screen. You know, at one point, I started to come to expect that they would show things at Gamescom as if it was another mini baby E3. Nothing major, but maybe one or two surprises, maybe even one surprise. But, you know, we didn't even get that. And the crazy thing about it was when I spoke with Greeny, which is Mr. Aaron Greenberg, over at E3, he did bring up they did have a small surprise. And I'm trying to, you know, I was a little bit excited about what they were going to show. I assumed the surprise was the Xbox One X Scorpio edition, which sold out in like immediately as soon as it went up for sale, or pre-order, shall I say. So I definitely got my pre-order. I locked one in. I was definitely in a situation where I wound up reserving one, not where I wanted to reserve it, but but it's definitely glad that I locked one in, and I'm glad GameStop is now doing trade-ins for Amazon gift cards, because that's the way I'm going to be paying it off if I don't get one at Best Buy. Before we really jump into the show, I want to talk about Gamescom and what you guys kind of expected out of that. Were you looking for anything that could have wowed them, anything that could have been a big push for the brand, push for Xbox, especially with them announcing their pre-order date and stuff like that? Or was it just, hey, it's just a show, nothing to be concerned about?
Anchor, I'll let you jump in on that first, man.
All right. So Gamescom, man, Gamescom is just an up and down convention. It seems like every other year, it's like, what was it, 2015, they were rocking it. They had news out of the wazoo. It was great. 2016, not much, but it has gone back and forth so much lately. And this year was just kind of a snooze. It was just kind of like, like, I don't know why I stood up and watched that conference, honestly. And I mean,
definitely boring.
I'm glad I had to work through most of it. Like I just caught like a portion of it, but I'm glad I had to work, and I skimmed over the rest of it. I'm like, I didn't miss anything. It's not Gamescom. Unfortunately, when it comes to these conferences that they're doing out here, it seems like it's just becoming E3 remastered. I mean, hey, with this generation, hey, might as well go for a remaster.
Right.
So I don't know. I'm not really thrilled with all these with the announcements and such, but like, I was expecting a little bit of something. And like on an optimistic side, I was hoping that Microsoft might show one brand new semi-exclusive game. Mm-hmm. Just something. Like they already got slammed for all this other stuff. Like not having any real exclusive games this year. Like nothing major. And they just lost one. It was like, okay, now's the time to show something to get people hope. And nope, nothing.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you either have like a really good E3 or you have a really good Gamescom. I feel like with those shows kind of being too close together, you either have really great content for one show and another show lacks, or vice versa. And I think that's kind of what we've been seeing the past couple of years. The 1 year when they, kind of said, these are games that are coming this year, but more stuff coming for you at Gamescom, and those will be the games that'll come next year. I feel like that was kind of the best presentation for both shows, because they kind of, took care of business at both shows. They showed us what was coming, and then people got excited for, what was coming in the future. And I think that's what they were missing with that show. Pretty much everything that they talked about, we knew about. There's nothing big besides the Jurassic Park game. And then, them coming out and saying that they're publishing PUBG. So nothing too crazy. I mean, people kind of knew about the Project Scorpio stuff before the Gamescom event, so that kind of didn't have you know, a big reception or anything like that as far as being a big announcement. So I mean, the show was just kind of boring. It was dry. It was nothing of excitement. So I think that's something that they'll have to rethink in the future.
Here's the thing about Gamescom. Gamescom has never been a event where I don't even know why they televise it, to be honest with you. Gamescom's never been an event where it's been something to look forward to. Every year we make this hoopla about Gamescom. Oh, E3 and then Gamescom. But really, Gamescom is just for the European crowd. You know what I'm saying? It's to get them some sort of event where the European side of the world, or shall I say the Western or semi-Eastern side of the world will be able to check out this event and see all the games that they're presenting. Showing that on television, in my opinion, it's pointless because a lot of the stuff is rehashed. But I think because Microsoft is international, they have to show it for all the people who may have missed E3 because of the time zone differences and things like that. So I kind of get where they're coming from as far as showing things, and it's kind of a rehash of E3. But when you look at what they did that year with when they had gameplay at Scalebound, and then the year I think before that or after, they had Tomb Raider announcement, and they had like the Forza Horizon announcement at Gamescom. Those games didn't show up at E3. Those games were showing off at Gamescom. And for me, this generation, I started to expect something. They prepped me to feel like something would be shown at E3. Then after having a conversation with Aaron, it kind of pushed me and piqued my interest that they would have something at E3. The disappointing part more than anything isn't so much that the show itself was boring or bad. It just so happened to be that the presentation and the way it was done, in my opinion, was what was a little bit poor. I didn't get the energy from the announcers, like the people who were presenting the show. Shout out to Grand Boy, AC Bongos and stuff. Don't disrespect the AC Bongos and that team over there, but I wasn't feeling the energy. And, in some instances, you would look at their face and they even seemed confused with what developers were telling them. It just seemed like they were sort of out of place in a way. But overall, all we were there for the most part was to find out when we could pre-order Scorpio, and it did its job. As far as what Microsoft.
You better be real careful how you disrespect my man Graham Boyd like that. That man has done so much.
Right.
He did the best he could.
Hey, Graham Boyd is the man. I can't say enough about
job.
AC Bongos. AC Bongos is the nicest person I've ever met. Honestly, this guy is so friendly. It's scary. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody so friendly. Like you know what I'm saying? It's like a horror movie almost, but he's super nice, man. It's super down to earth, always smiling, always want to shake your hand.
Graham met me at a sea of faces at the Xbox Fan Fest event that night. At a sea of faces, he heard my name one time, and 6 times throughout the conference, he remembered my name and approached me 6 times throughout the conference. It was like,
that's pretty dope.
This man here.
No, he's awesome. Sorry. So, with Gamescom out of the way, and Microsoft now has the Xbox out there, we're starting to get numbers now. We're getting how many games are actually running at 4K 60, how many games are native 4K, and honestly, it's very impressive. I know a lot of people feel like it's a checkerboard system. I know the fanboys try to downplay it, but the reality of it is that the console is absolutely impressive with what it's doing. I mean, graphically, it's been really impressive. But we seem to have this issue when it comes to these marketing deals. And this has become a big thing now. And as much as we try to ignore these things, and even though we don't have 100% full information yet, which I think when we do get it, it will fall in line with everything else. But as of right now, we don't have 100% full information on these games. Right now, it seems like marketing parity is a problem. Now, today, or shall I say yesterday, actually, I happened to be surfing Twitter, and I wind up seeing this big fuss about some game that was coming out of Xbox that honestly, not one Xbox fan None of the guys that I know anyway, none of the hardcore guys would probably even be on their radar. And there's no disrespect to that game. But let's just be real. This was more of a, I have to be honest, this was more of a what's what I'm looking for? Like a
very, very niche game.
Well, it's definitely niche, but I think the point that everybody was trying to make was kind of have that one up over. So the game that I'm talking about is called The Hunter. And The Hunter is a game like Cabela's hunting season or wild hunt or whatever, where you're out there, you're hunting deers and bears, and if you have games where you hunt lions and gazelle and things like that. It's one of these type of games. So the guy comes out. Yeah, it's open world and everything. So the guy talks about how the game is releasing on Xbox One and PS4 and PS4 Pro. And a guy asks him, he doesn't really ask, but he suggests this, man, I want it on Xbox One X in 4K. The guy turns around and says the game will be, before he says that, he says the game will be Xbox One 1260p on the PS4 Pro. So a guy comes out and says, I want this game on the Xbox One X in 4K. And the dev comes back and says it will be 900p on the Xbox One X. Now, the game is going to release at 900p on the Xbox One X. And every single fan you could think of has hit this developer up. This developer's timeline is probably on mute at this point or silent, because I can't tell you the amount of people that was probably just crashing into his feed. But guys weren't trying to hear it. And more than anything, it had nothing to do with the game. I can tell you right now, maybe 5 people will buy this game. Maybe 5, maybe 2.
I know only one person.
Because it's that niche of a title. Right. It's so niche of a title that it's just not. It's not to say the game's not good. I'm just saying it's such a niche title that you're going to have a very small demographic of both Xbox and PlayStation fans that have picked this game up. But the reason why Xbox fans were so wound up about it was that the reason why Xbox fans were so wound up about it was because it was a bullet point taken away of the Xbox One X. And it starts to fall back into this parody of games that are releasing on PlayStation or having marketing deals with Sony, not getting the resolution and enhancement treatment because of marketing deals. And with this Hunter game, a lot of people feel like that's not happening with the Hunter game. And PS4 Pro is getting a resolution bump and the Xbox One X isn't. So what do you make of this? What do you guys make of this?
Now, I do want to clarify that I don't believe there actually is a marketing deal. Right. That's one, because the game's already out.
Yeah.
The game's been out on PC for, 6 months to a year, somewhere in that range. It's been out. And so it's not a matter of we don't have the money or the resources to do it. They already released. It's just they just decided for whatever reason we're not going to be supporting the X in terms of doing an adjustment. A change, but I wanted to clarify that real quick. Go ahead, B-Money.
No, I was just gonna say it. I hope people don't think that it was in regards to the marketing deal, because the game has already been out. You know what I mean? Right. It's not like Sony just snatched this up, some no-name Hunter game, and was just like, "Yo, we had a marketing rights to this game."
Right. I mean, I didn't mean so much a marketing deal. I was just happening to thinking about Call of Duty and Destiny as that kind of falls in line with this parody thing.
Yeah, I mean. You could kind of say that, but then Sony also has the marketing rights for Star Wars Battlefront, and that game is also enhanced on the X. So it just, I guess it just depends on the contractual agreement, right, between Activision and Sony or whatever the case is. Because EA has no problem coming out and saying yo, our game will be enhanced on the X. So. I don't know. I don't know if it's that, or or if there's some bad blood in the background or whatnot. But all the other devs have no other problem coming out and saying yo, our game is enhanced, and there's been way more games enhanced on the Xbox than there has been on the PlayStation Pro. So I don't know what people would be mad about. So
I think that honestly, I think that this developer just doesn't have an Xbox One X dev kit.
yeah,
I
mean,
know a
they
lot of
probably
people are
don't.
like, that's not an excuse. I just don't think they have a dev kit, and I think that the only resolution they can hit is 900p on the Xbox One, so they're locking the resolution now. Being that the Xbox One can enhance games without really a dev putting in any work, all he has to do is basically unlock the resolution, make it dynamic. If he makes the resolution dynamic and makes the frames dynamic, then the Xbox One X will be able to maximize whatever frames and resolution he has the game at. I think that as a PC game, if it's on PC, I don't even know if it's on PC, but if it is on PC, then it should be easy to do. Is it on PC?
Yes, it is. It's been out for like 6 months to a year.
Okay, so if the game's on PC, my thing is that you have an opportunity. I'm sure you can maximize the power and graphics potential of the game on PC. So whatever you have on PC, you should be able to have those settings set for the Xbox One X, especially being that the PC and the Xbox One X are so as far as porting is concerned, as far as making the game with UWP or under Windows 10 and porting that game over, it makes it pretty easy to do. So maximizing the settings in the game should be easy to do, importing it. The question is whether or not this guy has a dev kit. And being that this game has been out for 6 months and it's niche, I don't think he does. I don't think he has one. So a lot of Xbox fans may have just jumped the gun, assuming that he has a dev kit. Meanwhile, it's probably a lot easier to get dev kits for Sony. We've heard this for an entire generation. Most of the kits that they get are free. So I wouldn't be surprised if he was able to get a PS4 Pro kit and just happen to be able to knock out what he needed to knock out on it, but didn't get an X kit yet. And I think if it's an indie game, he needs to be able to get in contact with the Idea Xbox program, which is a whole nother can of worms. So, you know, it's definitely a weird situation. I get Xbox fans' gripes, but I think what it is that Xbox fans are just tired of honestly kind of being shunned on or second, or kind of like put second or second class, especially when you now have a first class console. You guys think that? Like that's why they react, you know, the way they do sometimes, like the hardcore guys.
I think that when it comes down to why Xbox guys do what they do, at least in these scenarios, I think most of them are somewhere in the lines of now there's no excuse. Where in the past it used to be, okay, sorry, yeah, we couldn't hit 1080p on this one. Nah, whatever. So it's a weaker console, and they really don't have a foot to stand on. But now you actually have a clear, definitive difference, and it's understood that the Xbox One X is the most powerful console that's soon to be on the market. That is an understood point. And now that point of, oh, well, there's not enough power is gone. There is no excuse for that anymore. And we've said this on this podcast probably a dozen times. This has been Microsoft's strategy for ever since backwards compatibility, shifting the blame to the developer. Where it's not Microsoft's fault that certain games don't come to backwards compatibility. It's the publisher's fault. It's not Microsoft's fault that other developers aren't taking advantage of the hardware they have available to them. It's the developer's fault. They've been following this mentality, and I kind of think they planned this. Maybe not this specifically. This is the sort of situation that was going to pop up eventually. Somebody's going to say, "I'm not making it," and the fans are going to go at him. And that's what was going to happen.
You sound like a hater. You sound like an Xbox hater. That's what somebody who hates Xbox would say. They planned this. You can't trust Microsoft. Microsoft are like the worst in the industry. I hate them. I hope they crash and burn. I hope they fail. I hope Xbox explodes and dies. Like, you know what I'm saying? Microsoft is sneaky. I'll never buy an Xbox. But that's how it sounds.
It's honest though, dude. I'm not even kidding. Like it's not. I don't think they planned it specifically with this game. Like, yes, we're going to make sure this one game, The Hunter, it's called The Wild, will be 900p, and then we'll make them look bad. It's not like that. It's more like it was inevitable. Somebody wasn't going to take advantage of it, and the fans couldn't go to Microsoft about it because it's understood. Hey, it's the most powerful console. There's no reason why you can't get any resolution above whatever the Pro is, or at least the same. And so now it's like, hey, this was going to happen at some point. And I mean, I think ultimately they will add that support there later. I think it ultimately will. I think it'll play out just like the Sniper Ghost Warrior game, where they try to pull the BS like they did before, and now they got that exposure. And as we've learned, exposure doesn't necessarily equal sales anymore. Unfortunately, games like Lawbreakers and Sniper Ghost Warrior 3 didn't do too hot.
Right.
We're trying to start controversy and awareness. Didn't work.
I still think if Lawbreakers released on Xbox, it would have did better. That's just my personal opinion. I know a lot of PlayStation fans not going to like that if they listen to the show right now. I just think it would have did better. Look, the Xbox, for an entire generation, you had people calling it Xbox shooter box. Shooter fans is on that box. 2 of the top games on Xbox are shooters. So it just made sense. And with PlayStation being like the single player experience console, the RPG console, excuse me, the RPG console, I think that it's not to say that fans wouldn't have liked it if it was good. It could have been good, but I think that if the game was okay and it was on Xbox, as long as it was fun, Xbox fans probably would have purchased it. They would have gotten to it for $35. They would have gotten to it.
Dude, not even thinking about that either. Like, it's been dry as hell on Xbox this year. you mean to tell me it's like, the PlayStation guys have been real wet lately. They've had a lot of great exclusives coming out. It's like, let's just throw another on the pile arbitrarily, right next to Hellblade, no less. Let's throw another one, or we can hold off a little bit, throw it to a system that's dry as hell right now. It would have been a lot more.
I just think that the Xbox Live fan base and the Xbox shooter base would have supported the game better. Just my personal opinion. I mean, also, yeah, it was a little dry season. It is a dry year. And that would have been major as well. But again, I'm sure it'll come to the platform at some point. Getting off topic, thing with Destiny and Call of Duty. We won't find out information until we get closer to the release for both the Xbox One X and the PS4 and for the Xbox One X, till we get to release of both these games, like the Call of Duty releases and then Destiny 2 releases, and we finally get to hear what they've done to the Xbox One X version of these games, because Sony's trying to maximize, and that's what I truly believe. I think, like B said, these games have been enhanced. I think they have. I think they have been enhanced. I think they run in 4K. I think they look better on the Xbox One X, but Sony has a deal where you can't say anything about the other platform, and which is exactly what Square should have did when Microsoft had the deal, but Square folded. I don't want to get into that. That's a whole entire another story. But I think what winds up happening is you get this information after the game releases, and Sony winds up raking in the dough because it's too late. Everybody's already bought the game for the platform that they think is going to be best on, or everybody's bought the game for the platform it's been marketed on, and you haven't heard anything about Xbox whatsoever. And by the time you do hear it, it's rare that somebody's going to go out and turn around and then buy that platform plus that same game again after playing on the platform like a month and a half earlier. So, wait, I played COD. What you think of COD? Did you play COD?
Nah, I haven't touched it yet, man.
Anchor, thoughts on COD?
Yeah, baby. I played Call of Duty. See, here's the thing. I feel like I got to preface this before. Before I did YouTube and all this stuff, I used to be in a Call of Duty clan. I played competitive. I did that stuff. I was all about that. I was more of a support player. I was the guy running the LMG, like backing up my buds, running in there, getting kills. I was running there. I was shooting down all the aircraft. I was that dude in the back. For me, I got tired of Call of Duty because it got too complicated. After Black Ops 2, they started throwing more and more stuff at it, and then they started adding more things where it just made it too not too fast paced, as opposed to it was just way too complicated for what Call of Duty should have been. Like with the whole jumping and wall running and all that kind of stuff, it just didn't fit Call of Duty to me. And with this one in particular, now I'm a big Call of Duty, well, not Call of Duty, rather. I'm a big World War II history buff. I went to England and France to study D-Day in particular for a month, and it was a big deal. Like I really do dig this era, and I am pleasantly surprised with this World War II beta. No joke. I actually really am digging it. It's the gameplay itself has gone backwards in many regards. It's fun. It's like old school Call of Duty in terms of how it plays, and they have a few little twists on it, but it's nothing like crazy. They don't do the pick 10 system anymore. Then Call of Duty lately also has been just stealing stuff from other people. They blatantly take certain aspects that they think are hot right now, and right now Battlefield is the one that's hot. So they've taken the class system, but they kind of play it off. Feels right. It feels good. It's balanced. I'm having a good time playing it. I like it.
I just want to know: am I the only person that tried the wall run with getting shot in the back? Because
yes,
I've been doing this for so long. I've been playing Titanfall and Call of Duty, Infinite Warfare, Advanced Warfare, and games like this where you have traversal across the wall and things like that. All of a sudden, you can't even, I can't even run the wall no more. It's boots on the ground. I get shot in the back, and I'm startled. I'm so used to traversing everything, and I can't. But I had a lot of fun, man. I felt like I was old though. Like I'm trying to play the game, and I just feel like an old man not able to get my reflexes down, or maybe it was the sensitivity of the controller. I don't know, but I got in the groove eventually. Anyway, moving forward.
No, but B Money.
Destiny 2.
Wait, B Money. I want to hear what B Money has to say about Call of Duty real quick. Are you interested in Call of Duty anymore? Or are you done?
No, I'm done, man. I'm done. I hung up my Call of Duty jersey back on 360, man.
What could they do to get you back? I want to know. I need to know.
I think if they just bring in modern era and just bring it boots on the ground, man. That's all I want. I just want, you know what I mean?
You want Modern Warfare 4. That's what you're saying, basically.
Yeah. Bring it back. You know, I don't mind the World War II. I don't mind the World War I with Battlefield. Like I enjoy Battlefield 1 for what it is, but you know, for Call of Duty, for me, for it being a fast-paced shooter that it is, man, I just want it modern day. You know what I mean? Give me the AK-47. Let me run around, chop people down. But you know, I don't want a wall run or anything like that. Just boots on the ground and let me get busy.
All right, fair enough.
Destiny 2 is coming out right around the corner. I pre-ordered the game. Forgot that I pre-ordered. They charged my card $90. I instantly asked for a refund.
$90? What were you doing? Jesus.
Well, I wanted to get the demo. The demo was for $89.99. You got the Destiny demo, and I got a chance.
Really?
To
they locked the demo behind it?
Wasn't the beta or something like that?
They locked the beta behind a $90 pre-order?
Yeah,
that can't be right.
Yo, I'm telling you, if that was the case,
$90 though,
it was behind the beta for $90.
I got you, man. They got you, man.
I don't know, but anyway, I wound up getting a refund on it.
Better.
And I'm still stuck on the fence of getting the game and everything like that. I'm just trying to figure these things out. My clan, they're gonna get the game. Some of my guys are getting it, so I'm still stuck on the fence on whether I want to purchase it 100%. My thing is that if I do get the game, I obviously want to pick it up for the Xbox One X. I really would like to know what improvements they made in the game on the Xbox One X version. Do you think it's another COD situation, or do Bungie, of all people, which I feel like has just basically built bad blood between the Xbox community and the once beloved Bungie Halo creators, do you think that they will make an effort to kind of gloss over this parody thing that people think is happening with Destiny and go all out on the Xbox One X?
I think the only thing you're gonna get is the game might run at a higher resolution. That's about it. Other than that, you won't see many more improvements. I think it runs in dynamic 4K on the PS4 Pro, so it'll probably be maybe a native 4K resolution or something pretty close to that. Some checkerboard resolution, but that's really about it. I don't see them putting in any extra textures or, changing the lighting or anything like that.
Yeah. I think Cal just got disconnected. We'll give him a second for him to come back. We should be good for a little bit. When it comes to Call of Duty, man, not Call of Duty, Destiny, I don't think any updates that they pull to Destiny 2 are going to be relevant. I think anything they do is just going to be irrelevant trash in terms of any Xbox One X updates or anything like that. Just fact of the matter is, it's just the game's just totally screwed on a technical level. The PC beta started up lately, the PC beta, and they're going through and analyzing everything. And remember the reason why they said we couldn't have 60 FPS? Everybody remember that reason? Oh, because the game's too CPU intensive. Lo and behold, PC test comes out, says, no, it's not. And yeah, and here's the thing though. On a technical level, Destiny 2 is just totally screwed. I just said this earlier. The issue being that there are no private servers for Destiny 2. It's still going to run. It's a 2017 first-person shooter, online competitive, that will not be running at 60 frames per second. That's just horrible. And I don't have an excuse for it. There is no excuse for it. And by the way, Call of Duty just got actual dedicated servers. That beta is running on dedicated servers. None of that hybrid stuff they've been lying about for years. And now Destiny 2 doesn't have dedicated servers.
That's definitely crazy. It's just one of those things, man, where it's just like, you really feel like this game should have been an exclusive on the Xbox One. Microsoft should have allowed the Bungie team to create something new, or split the team and create something new. You know, if you had a group of guys out there that wanted to work on another project, you could have still maintained Halo and built another studio, and that game could have been an Xbox title. You know what I'm saying? But in the end, it's multi-plat. And I don't have a problem with that being multi-plat. I just think that this whole marketing thing and like what they're doing as far as not talking about other platforms and, you know, not giving up information. I get that. I get it. That's the business side of the competitive nature of what we are dealing with when it comes to the gaming industry.
I'll be right back.
But I just really and truly hope that when the game does come out, that they don't get the game just for parity. There's no excuse, in my opinion. I don't think there should be any excuses. I don't think there was any excuses when PS4 Pro dominated for the first 3 years when it came to power, albeit whether it was a small difference in resolution or a small difference in some grass areas or some shade areas, darkness or light or whatever it may have been. Whatever it is, I truly hope that they take advantage of the Xbox One X platform when the game does release. Moving on. Hey, B, did you get the dashboard update?
Yes, I did.
Well, let me tell you what happened to me today. So I get the dashboard update, and it goes through its normal course. You know, it didn't kick me off. Some people get kicked offline. It happened to me once, but it hasn't happened again. But I go and I check for any updates. I see the update is there. I'm excited. I download the update, and it goes through the motion. It's like downloading update. Check. It's like verifying update. Uploaded update. I'm like, all right, it's at 90-something%. The machine uploads. It uploads the update. The Xbox turns off. The Xbox come on. The dashboard loads up. I got the same dashboard I already had. I'm like, where is the update? What is this update that I got that gives me the same dashboard I just had 15 minutes ago? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what's going on with my Xbox, my Slim, why I didn't get this update. I have my OG Xbox upstairs in my bedroom, so I'll probably update that soon. But I don't know what's going on with the Slim. I need to find out what's happening and let Mikey Barra know that my Xbox did not update properly. Something is going on. I wonder if other people got that. But since you guys got the update, man, let's talk about this update. What do you guys think? What has impressed you about this update, and what has disappointed you about the update?
I mean, the thing that disappoints me the most is that I feel like I'm still pressing like way too many buttons to get the stuff. I felt like because I have the Slim is in my bedroom, and I still got my OG in my living room. So, you know, I felt like, you know, finding my friends was easier on the old dashboard. Like this is like way too many clicks. Like it has like I guess one of your top friends that you can select on, you know, to join a game or join this party or whatever. But it doesn't open up a window to see what your other friends are doing. You have to, you know, go to the menu, go to your friends, click down, you know what I mean, go into the friends and see what everybody's doing. I think it's way too many button clicks for me. You know what I mean? I just wanted to be simple. Like, just give me a tab for friends, let me go there, see who's in the party, let me hop in the party, join the game. It's I think the overall look of it is pretty cool. You know what I mean? I like that it's less stuff on the screen, at least for the home screen. It gives you, you know, a little bit more flavor to the screen. You know what I mean? Kind of personalize it yourself or whatever. But I still, I don't know. It kind of reminds me of like a laptop or like a tablet, the way like the screen like scrolls up and down, which I'm not really a fan of that either. So, but
I prefer pages.
I prefer the pages. You know what I mean, and not make it look like a big laptop screen on my TV. You know what I mean? But other than that, I think it's a pretty solid update. But I think there's definitely some changes they can make to it to kind of make it feel more fluid, in my opinion.
Now you got all three. You got all three systems, right? You got a Switch, you got a PS4, and you got an Xbox, right?
Yes.
Which dashboard do you think at this point, with all the updates that's happened so far, which do you prefer? Which do you think is the best?
I mean, I think that Nintendo is probably the most simple. I think because the games are right there when you start up. So it's just like, if that's what you are trying to get into, they're right there. I think navigation wise, I think PlayStation is still probably the fastest and the easiest to access just by the way that it's set up.
Right.
I think the Xbox dashboard is pretty good too. I think my only complaint would be the button clicks. I think there's just way too many button clicks to get to what you're looking for. Like if you try to go to the store and buy something, like they have the front page for like what comes out new or whatever the case is, like you still have to hit a button to go into what's new and then, you know what I mean, shop the store instead of just one click to get there. So if they just streamlined it a little bit, it would be a lot easier and a lot more friendly to, you know what I mean, the user.
Yeah.
Same thoughts, Anchor? What's your thoughts on this?
Now, I don't have the latest Xbox One, and I was glad for not to have that dashboard because the first dashboard they showed off looked like garbage. I hated it with a passion. So much wasted space, and I had three main issues. One being like at the top for like your resume game, it didn't even have like the tile for what game you had necessarily, and it just had like a big white lettering of what the game was. Like no logos, no anything like that, just big white lettering. And it was like, oh, it looks horrible. And like the background was all grayed out. It was like, oh, this looks bad. And I'm still not. And they had the move to horizontal for the dashboard instead of the vertical. Now, since then, they have fixed almost everything except for the one thing I'm not a fan of, which is the move to horizontal instead of vertical for the dash bar. But other than that, they fixed everything else. I actually want the update now. It looks dope. They fixed it so that you have a big icon for what game you were playing last. It takes up a little more space, so it looks like you're actually using the UI space. They've allowed it so you can actually change it if you don't want to have like a white background for the UI. You don't want to have a black one. You can change it to white if you want. They added it so like you can actually go over certain tiles that you don't want and then like select them and say I want to see less of this, and you could get rid of things you don't want to see. And I was like, yes, finally. These are issues that I have been wanting them to fix for so long, and I'm glad with this particular one. But the answer, the question earlier with V in particular, was saying about which UI is the best. Now I have all systems now, which is great. And it's like if I had to pick the best UI, I feel like the Switch's UI is just deceptively simple because there's just not much you can do with it. It's pick the application, or really just pick the game. Here's the store. Here's your friends. That's it. These are your only options. You can't screw up. Now, when it comes to the PlayStation, I feel like their UI is just really, really simple just for starting up a game. Because everything's on one bar and it's automatically pick what game or app you want to start. That's it.
Right.
But as soon as you start trying to do anything more complicated than that, like start a party, go to your settings, it's just walls and walls of menus and loading and waiting and it's kind of annoying to me. I'm not a big fan of that. But like with the Xbox, though, I feel like the UI is a little clunkier than that, but you could do a lot more within that little sphere. You can start a party, you can go through your friends, you can edit and change things really quick. Now, it's not as quick as we'd like it to be, but you could do a lot of that stuff very quickly.
I think the Xbox One X will improve on the quickness of the overall, operating system when it releases on that console, just based on what's in it, based on the RAM alone. But what I do like, which I don't have the update yet at all, so I really can't comment on it too much. But based on what I did see, I did like the simple fact that you could just customize it, and so if I can customize it the way I want to, I even seen something where someone had 40 pins in the side menu. When you press that home button and that side menu pops up, it was really cool to see that, because that means that now if I want to grab a game, because a lot of times I click that and you have a small pin tab about your top, 6 games in like this small little block. And you can select from those games. But if you have a game on a list that's further down at the bottom, or like how I have my thing set up is I have my latest games all at the top in a row. Like the first two and a half rows are all games, and the bottom half of everything else is just apps: Netflix, Hulu, HBO, HBO Go, Showtime, Crunchyroll, etc., etc. So when when I see those pins and you're able to put 40 pins in that menu, that's great, because that gives me quick, easy access to where I want to go, and click on the things I click on without having to hit the dashboard, scroll down, and then pick on a box. Other than that, man, hopefully I get the update soon. I'll try a hard reset and see if it fixes it, but I just don't know, man. I hope I get it. I would love to get this update and experiment with it and see what happens. The one thing I can say about Microsoft is that they are consistently working. People are getting those checks and they are earning them. The amount of updates and the amount of new features that we have gotten has been tenfold, man. It's been really good. I know some people are disappointed because it's like they change the dashboard so much. You kind of get used to one thing and then they change it, and now you got to get used to something else and learn something all over again or figure out what things are. But the only thing I want, movie party, man. I can't stop talking about movie party, man. I need my movie party.
Oh God, this again.
You need to bring back movie party, dude. They bring back movie party, it will be the ultimate social experience on the Xbox One X. They're all about social. Bring back movie party. When Game of Thrones, the last season of Game of Thrones come out, we can have a Game of Thrones party. 12 people in the room, 12 people watching on HBO Go in awe as Jon Snow becomes king of everything. Or shall I say, Aegon. Now, let me not say that, because I don't know who watched it. So
quit trying to spoil things, man. Some people are still trying to pirate this, man.
All right. Moving on. So listen, Dead Rising 4 is hitting the PlayStation 4 platform. Do we care? No, I don't. I mean, the game sucked. Number one, it's a year later. I just don't see the PS4 fans being interested in this game. It gives them something to play during Christmas. It comes out December 4th or 5th or something like that.
Something like that.
Is this like the Matrix a big deal? Like we already knew this was like a timed exclusive.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares, bro.
Nobody.
My brother's confused, man.
Nobody bought the game in the first place.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Nobody's gonna buy it when it goes to PlayStation.
I don't see the big deal about Dead Rising 4. It wasn't a good game. I was disappointed that they didn't stick with the story of 3. I really felt like I really liked 3. I liked the direction 3 was going, and I really liked those characters and stuff. They should have stuck with the 3 formula instead of trying to, hop on the fanboys of Frank and trying to, get back to what he was doing and things like that. I just really felt they should have stuck with the original story, but that's nothing. That's neither here nor there. And hopefully, if Dead Rising 5 comes out, they can get back to what they were doing with Dead Rising 3, and move forward. Man, it's time for this franchise to become something more than just a mid-tier franchise. That's how I feel Dead Rising was. I think when it first came out, it was a success. The second game was trash. The third game was okay. The fourth game was trash. The fifth game, the next game needs to be meteoric. It needs to take it into space. They got to find something that's really going to separate them and really make it something that people must buy in order to play the Dead Rising franchise.
Zombies are boring.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't you think that the whole zombie movement is kind of over with, though?
It's oversaturated.
I hope
it really is oversaturated. It really is. But it's not. You know what? Zombies make millions of dollars for some reason. The dead make money. I don't know.
You want to know why zombies are popular? There's 2 reasons. There's a crash course in psychology. So zombies are beneficial towards gaming for 2 reasons. One, they're really, really easy to program for. AI pathing just goes straight. Go for this person. You get more complex than that, but it's easy. It's pretty easy in terms of AI. Now, the other thing in particular is on a psychological level. You don't need to justify killing a zombie. If you're writing a story, zombies exist. They're there to be killed, and people don't have a moral issue with killing a zombie. They did a test.
There's no moral issue with killing zombies at all. Yeah. Not at all.
It's like, but if you make it so like you're just killing people, like in Hatred or something like that, that game for that top-down shooter game out there, we started talking about for a while. Yeah, people had issues with that because it's like, okay, these are just innocent people you're just killing for no real reason. Right. Now, if they were zombies, no one would ask a question about that.
Well, the undead are trying to eat. You're trying to survive.
Yeah, you don't need context to kill zombies.
No, not at all. Hopefully, they improve the game. That's all I'm saying. They definitely need to figure it out because the zombie genre, in my opinion, is about to be dead after Xbox and PlayStation drop these 2 zombie games that they have. They really need to move away from both those genres and hopefully they can let the guys over at Undead Labs make something else besides zombie games.
You know what though? I'll say this real quick. There's only one major AAA zombie game that's worth anybody's time and should get any money. That includes Last of Us as well in that bunch right there. Dying Light 2.
Dying Light 2. Dying Light. I didn't play Dying Light.
Dying Light is the only zombie game I have played that I have liked since Left 4 Dead.
I definitely have to get in it. I have to check it out. It's the
parkour. It's different. It's fun.
It is different.
It's enjoyable, and it's something that is unique. And it has a different spin on zombies. It's an enjoyable time. But other zombie games nowadays, though, they're boring. They're not fun anymore.
Well, we're coming up, man, close to the end of the show. Listen, I want to thank everybody for stopping out. We had almost a max of over 40 people sitting at 32 right now. I want to thank you guys for the support. Make sure you give us a thumbs up, share out to your friends and comrades out there. Very quick intermission. Make sure you click on the Tick Network Patreon below in the introduction section. Yeah, the description. There you go. I don't know why it wasn't coming to me. The description section, we have the Tick Network Patreon where you can click on that, check out the tiers, go ahead, subscribe, and support Tick Network. We greatly appreciate it. Help us go a long way to improving the quality of our content, building our merch for the fans out there, as well as a ton of other things. So make sure you check that out. Moving on. So listen, Bethesda creation. This is Anchorman's topic. I don't know nothing about Bethesda creation. The only thing I care about with Bethesda is that they make cool RPGs, and I want to do Elder Scrolls as soon as possible. So, what is this Bethesda creation that's got you all up in arms?
All right, I do want to preface this. I'm a little buzzed tonight. It's Saturday. It's a little, it's a little different time.
Jesus Christ!
So, so Bethesda Creation Club is something that Bethesda threw out there around E3 this year. The gist of it is the short version is that it's paid mods. The pitch was mods are still going to be there. They're still going to be free, but Bethesda's going to be working with certain creators to bring certain things available that you could pay for, and those modders would get a cut of the profits. They're going to make money on their creations, and when they pitched it like that, I'm down. Like, hey, I've played content where I believe wholeheartedly those people should be paid for their work if they want to be paid. Because some people put way too much work to do this for free into some of these mods. It's ridiculous. I played one mod where this lady inserted herself into the game. She recorded her own voice lines. She made herself a companion. She made herself have like her own like style and all these dialogue lines, and she had her own set of quests and everything. It was over the top. It was like, this was way too much work to do this for free. I need to give you money for this, not just a Patreon deal. I want to give you $20 for this work. This was way too much. I feel dirty taking this for free. It was way too much.
Hey, that's how it is when you have a passion, man. When you have a passion for something, you'll do anything for free, man, as long as people love the work.
It's great. She did great work on this job. I think the name of the mod's called like the KC Companion mod. I think that's what it was called. But the thing to move forward with that though is, I think, well, the way they pitched, the way Bethesda threw it out there was that you could basically pay, like, get some credits to spend on these certain mods, which don't affect your achievements, which don't affect anything. They're part of the game, and it has the backing of Bethesda. Now, they've rolled out the Creation Club. It's going to be for Skyrim as well, but right now it's just for Fallout 4. It's going to hit Skyrim, I think, in a week or two, but it's going to happen sometime soon. But with this particular one, they're going to be doing, they rolled out like a handful of paid mods, and it's like little stuff like have a skin for your Pip-Boy, have a unique armor set, and also there's also like there's like doppelgangers on the free market as well. So if you don't want to pay for it, you don't have to pay for it. You just can't get your achievements.
Okay.
So it's little things like this, and it's not. I'm not a fan of how they're rolling it out this way. I think some things deserve to be paid for, but like this little things like that, like, oh, I added an armor. No, that's not worth it. Like that's just wrong to me. It needs to be something significant. And the way Bethesda's rolling this out currently, I am not a fan. And honestly, they're probably going to get away with it. They're probably going to get away with it because of the PlayStation 4. Because the mods that are on PlayStation 4 currently are garbage compared to the Xbox and PC mods, where they actually allow you to have outside assets. Now Bethesda's going to allow you to have those external assets, but you got to pay for them. And so, because of Sony's policy, they're going to get away with it.
Well, congratulations, Sony fans. You got mods. At least you got something. So it sucks, but you know, that's just the way the cookie crumbles sometime, I think. You know what I'm saying? Devs are just trying to take advantage of what they can take advantage of nowadays. And if you got fanboys that love Bethesda and love Fallout and love Skyrim, they're gonna hop on it regardless if they gotta pay for it or not, man. You gotta vote with your wallets. You gotta make noise with your wallets. If you don't like something, don't buy it. Same thing with if you don't like what Bungie is doing with Destiny 2, if you don't like what they're doing with COD, if you don't like what's happening with the Hunter, Wild in the Wild, or whatever that game is, don't go out and kill these people in public. You know what I'm saying? Like let's be rational here, because sometimes mob mentality is not cool or conducive to the community. Just use your
just sometimes.
Wallet. Don't buy it. Sometimes it's okay. Hey, listen, every once in a while I go on my rants. I went on a Conan rant the other day. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to go on a Conan rant tonight once I finish with this show, because this they have not fixed this hammer in the game. Is horrendous. First of all, everybody has this like iron hammer, right? You have two attacks. You have a heavy attack with the right trigger, which is like a power attack, obviously, and you got a light attack. The problem that you have is even if you run out of stamina when swinging your weapon, you don't stop swinging. So the hammer has the ability to knock you on the ground. It has a knockback ability, which can knock you on the floor. So all people do is knock you on the floor and wail on you with light attack with a hammer. This hammer is so strong, it kills you in about 4 hits, bro. I done died about 3 times already and already got raided once. This is ridiculous, and they need to fix this. This is broken. Everybody's going to have hammers in the game, and it's out of control. They need to fix that. I'm like seriously about to rant with the Conan devs, and it's only been out about 2 weeks. So I'm already getting frustrated with the game, but I love the game a little bit. Like as far as everything else is concerned, I really like the game. Listen, before we head out of here, man, I got to talk about these the fake stuff that came out recently with the Xbox rumors and the Marvel DC dates and the games that was on this list. And I want to rebut some people about this thing, man, because I got into a crazy discussion with some people from another podcast and guys that we know and guys on Twitter and stuff like that. And we got into a crazy debate about fake, about what they showed was fake. Now, I don't have the paper in front of me, but I just want to say these things real quick and why people believe it's fake. They believe it's fake because, one, every game that they had was kind of like a timeline and a date of when every game was going to release 2 years out. So even in 2019, they had a date and a month for those games. The timeline looked like it was ripped out of the Marvel universe, cinematic universe, when they show you all the stuff that's releasing and at these times. So you saw the date, it had a little line of it, it showed the game, but then you would go on to the next one. Then on top of that, they had Ninja Gaiden, Dino Crisis, Crimson Skies, trying to think what else they had. Third party wise. Oh, and Dead Rising 5 in the list of games coming out between 2018 and 2019. Right? Now, here's the crazy thing. I just want people to understand something right now. Whoever made this list, even if it's fake, that list is like 45% true. And I'll explain to you why that list is 45% true. So on the list, they talk about all these games that's coming out, right? They didn't have any of like the indie games, the big indie games they're going to promote, and they didn't have Gears of War in there, nothing like that. But they had Crackdown, they had Sea of Thieves, they had State of Decay, they had I think like a Forza Horizon, they had a Halo game, but you don't know what Halo it is. It could be any Halo, and we do expect the Halo to come out. Then they had 3 unannounced exclusives from Microsoft, which is true. We do know that's true. And they had a game on there called, I want to say it's Dark Matter. I think it's called Dark Matter or Dark Falls or something like that. I can't remember what it was. It's Dark Matter. Dark Matter. I want to say Dark Matter. Yeah. So, and they had a game on there like Dark Matter or Dark Falls or whatever. And then they had those 3 or those 4 third-party titles up there, along with Ori. If you take away all the dates, let's just wipe all the dates out. Just take all the dates off the screen, right? And remove the 4 third-party games. Everything on that list, Microsoft has. They have Halo, which I wouldn't be surprised if they come out with a different Halo other than Halo 6. It can be some sub-genre of Halo. Who knows what it would be. But they have a Halo on there. They got Forza on there. They got the 3 games coming out next year. They got Ori on there. They got the 3 games that's in production that's unannounced from Microsoft on there. But the game that there was 2 games on there that a lot of people ignored that wasn't realistic. One of them was this Dark Matter game or this Dark Fall game. I can't remember the name of it. This game is real. This game is actually a novel written by, I can't remember who it is, a guy who's a big author. And he's worked out a deal with Microsoft and he's writing the script for this game. This game is coming out on the Xbox One X as an exclusive. No one knows about this game, but this game is real. It's going to come out. I don't know if it's 2019 or 2020, but it's being worked on right now. On the other hand, you had the 3 unannounced exclusives, which we have heard one of them is some type of Horizon Zero Dawn-like game, and then there's 2 other titles. At E3, I heard they have something they're working out with Capcom. I don't know if it's timed or not. That's just something that I've been hearing for a long time now. And I don't know what the 3rd game is after that. And then they had Crimson Skies, or like a new version of Crimson Skies. Now, the crazy thing about that, I literally just saw the guy who made Crimson Skies tweet out that he was having conversations with Microsoft about making a new Crimson Skies. Now, if that's realistic, if that happens, a good percentage of that list is true. If you remove the third-party IPs that's on there, the Ninja Gaiden, the Dead Rising 5, and the Dino Crisis, that whole list is true. And everybody ripped that list because it was made and it looks fake. But the crazy thing about it was whoever thought about that list, whoever put that list together, actually got most of that right. And that's the funny thing about it.
You're welcome.
So Microsoft has some stuff, man. They are working on some projects. I just feel like 2018 is their like for PS4 for Sony, 2017 was a huge year for them. They had a lot of games that was supposed to release in 2016 that got pushed to 2017. They had games that was coming out in 2017 already. All of that was just a great, culmination of all these games coming out after, back to back, and hit after hit after hit. That guy who said that actually got something right for once, at least this year. Prior to that, it was kind of slow. Sony released some big titles in the beginning of the year, kind of released indies and rely on third party at the end of the year. Microsoft will release some type of game preview or indies in the beginning of the year and release nothing but big AAAs and some third parties at the end of the year. That's pretty much what it was for the first 3 years. The Sony came out in 2017, kind of, shut the game down. Microsoft had the cancellations, kind of ruined their 2017, and they've continued to ruin their 2017, minus obviously the Xbox One X Scorpio. But 2018 is looking bananas. And I truly believe the way Sony had their year in 2017, I think Microsoft is going to have an amazing 2018. I think about Code Vein, Dragon Ball Super. I think about Anthem, Metro. I think about Crackdown, Sea of Thieves, State of Decay 2, whatever they have coming out in the fall that's going to be exclusive, whether it's Forza Horizon 4 or something else, because Playground is supposed to be working on some type of RPG. There's a lot of things that we don't know and a lot of things we do know, and it's really shaping up to be a big 2018 for the Xbox One X. B, what is your thoughts on that?
I mean, I hope it is, because the damn show wasn't a good year this year.
It wasn't a good year.
It was a horrible year. It was a horrible year. I hope 2018 is something special, man. A lot of people give Sony flack for kind of throwing out the roadmap and kind of let you know what's coming up and stuff like that. But I would almost kind of wish Microsoft did some of the same thing. You know what I mean? Like, we kind of know what's coming with early 2018, but we don't know, what the future holds. And, I've been saying this for the longest time, like Sea of Thieves really is not on my radar, to be honest. State of Decay is not on my radar either. I was on the fence for Crackdown 3, and, lo and behold, that game was in trouble like I said it was. So, you know what I mean? So their 2018 is still looking kind of shaky for me. And I'm still waiting on something big to be like, okay, this is a game, that I'll rock out, on Xbox. So I'm hoping, that it's big. I'm hoping that, towards the end of the year, we get a little bit of rumblings of what could be coming in 2018, and we don't have to wait until E3 before, we start hearing some noise. So I got my fingers crossed.
Hey, I blame Brat. They've broken my B Money 101. They turned him into a neutral. This is just too much I can't handle. Brat has broken B Money 101. No, I mean, yeah, at E3, Sea of Thieves is going to be incredible. Sea of Thieves is going to take over Mixer like the plague. Like, it's going to be crazy, bro. I'm telling you. The amount of people that play this game, every time I see somebody playing it at the events over the last 2 years, think about that year we went last year. 400 people stood online to play Sea of Thieves. 400 people. I was not standing on that line. Shout out to Craig Duncan for the skip. I was not standing on that line to play Sea of Thieves. And this year, it was no different. 500 people or more standing online. That line went out the door, around the corner, and down the hall. Was crazy just to play Sea of Thieves, and the ruckus you can hear from that area and the camaraderie of people trying to work together and laughing and enjoying themselves. It's the perfect game for Mixer. It's the perfect game to be streamed, and it's the perfect team game. And I just think it's going to be a hit. I think it's going to be a big success, at least among Xbox fans. State of Decay 2, I got a lot of inside information on State of Decay 2. I think it's going to be really cool. And I got an opportunity to see a little bit of what am I missing? Crackdown, and got a chance to chat with Ken Lobb. Actually, I have a video there if I can find it and put it up. A video of Ken Lobb playing Crackdown, and we got a chance to talk about it. I really think Crackdown will be fixed, will improve everything, but hopefully it turns out well and people pick up the game. The best thing they could have did was delay that game and hopefully fix the shortcomings, and fans will get excited for it again. I think if for The Last Guardian for 1 billion years, they could wait a few months for Crackdown 3. What is your thoughts, Hank?
State of Decay 2, irrelevant. Sea of Thieves, entirely relevant. Crackdown 3, semi-relevant.
I feel like I'm in an episode of Public Enemies with Batman and Superman. Everybody turns on them. Everybody's turning on Superman. Okay, I see how the Justice League is doing. It's all good, though. It's all good.
No, it's like I've had this rule, and I've said this. I said this at least a dozen times. When it comes to delays, everybody gets one delay, and when you delay that game, it'd be like, okay, you tell me exactly when it's coming out. It's worthwhile. You take your delay and you run with that delay. But you give us something in return. You show us that, like, okay, this is what we're working on. This is why we need the delay. When you delay a second time, I no longer care.
Man, and listen, you got to do what you got to do.
Fight to get my attention back.
Microsoft cannot afford to have another Scalebound. I'm telling you, I said this on Super Pod Shots. The last thing Microsoft can do is cancel Crackdown. They cannot. Listen to what I'm telling you, people. I don't care if Crackdown fails, if it flops out of the gate. They cannot cancel Crackdown because it will then show that the cloud compute stuff that they've been barking about for 4 years was a failure and a sham, and people will run with it. And right now, Microsoft Word is something that they have to rebuild. They have to regain trust with certain people, certain fans. They're doing a great job with that with the Xbox One X. Improve the game. Get out of this early 2000s era of making it a mayhem game and just turn it into a true superhero Grand Theft Auto type game with an open world multiplayer with full on destruction in the multiplayer. Because I just don't see the appeal. Everybody, like, I think about that game just came out. What's that game? Agents of Mayhem. That didn't knock the doors off nothing. There's not a fan base for the mayhem genre.
That game is fun, though.
It is fun, but it's not. But that's what I'm saying. It's more of like Saints Row, where it's like this niche crowd of people that's buying these games, and it's fun. Crackdown is a big title for Microsoft. They can't make this game appeal to just a niche crowd. They need to be able to make this game appeal to everybody. And you know what appeals to everybody in this open world setting? Games like Grand Theft Auto, games like Infamous Second Son, things like that. I think that if Microsoft was able to figure out a way, instead of making it mayhem based where you kill a bunch of enemies and the boss come out, which I thought was lame to begin with, and truly make it about missions, truly put dialogue in the game, truly put story in the game, and then focus on multiplayer, it's making it about destruction and having an open world and being a super cop, then that's you got it. You hit it out the park. But if they release this game the way they're going to release it, like they did back in the day on the original 360 with the first Crackdown one, because that's exactly what it's like, the first Crackdown one, not Crackdown 2, I don't know if people will even acknowledge it, even if they improve the graphics, because the gameplay will continue to look the same. And it's a fun game with people. It truly is. But long term, people are only going to care about the multiplayer. And that's what we truly care about. No one cares at this point about the campaign. And Microsoft should care, because they're the ones that are truly trying to deliver both AAA experiences in both multiplayer and single player on one platform, on like a one game experience, like Halo and Gears of War. They should continue to do that. They should definitely continue to do that. So I don't know, man. We'll see what happens coming up next year. I truly hope Microsoft has another event. You guys think they need to have another event to show off something for later in the year of 2018?
I don't think they should have an event. I think it should be a State of the Union address. Bill Spencer sitting at a White House prop desk, like have Aaron Greenberg on his left, Mikey Barr on his right, and said, I know we screwed you this year. Here's what we got next." Like just show clips and just go bam, bam, bam.
It
like
would be dope if they did that.
30-minute video. Don't even have to be live. Just beam it out. Or just put it on Mixer.
Phil's not
Mixer
arrogant
live.
enough to do that, though. Would you drop the mic at E3 and do a drop the mic moment? He said no. Phil's the ultimate Boy Scout.
Hey, just show me something new at the Game Awards. You know what I mean? They always got the reveals at the Game Awards. Just all I need is a tease at the Game Awards. Give me something to hype to be. Give me something to be hyped about in 2018 at the Game Awards, and I'm good.
Steal other people's events. You don't have to do your own event. Yeah. Like save that money. Use that money for development. Steal someone else's event.
We need to hope that. And shout out to Jeff Keighley, friend of the show. We need to hope that Jeff Keighley don't just come out and just take shots at Xbox, and then and give us another Kojima tribute or something like that. Like that's what we need to be
winning Developer of the Year award again.
Microsoft needs to have some sort of event where they're able to show their fans a little bit of the future. I know they don't want to do that, but the fans, I think they need it. I really do think the fans need it.
Deserve
you got the Xbox One X. You're on a roll. You're hot right now. The console is selling out every time the thing comes in stock. People want it. This is how you want to know how hot the Xbox One X is right now. The Xbox One X is so hot the PC fans are haters. The PC crowd is coming in and trying to downplay the Xbox as much as they can. They ain't even do that to the PS4 Pro. They are downplaying the Xbox as much as they can. It's eating them up inside because they know not everybody has a PC capable of what the Xbox is going to put out. And when you see that thing about, this game runs better on the Xbox One X, the PC guys just, no, it doesn't. They have to intrude. It's brutal. It's brutal for them. So, I understand where they're coming from, but I think the Xbox One X is going to do well. I've said this before. I said it's going to sell out. I thought it was going to shout out to Rand. Where's Rand at? Let's get Rand on the show. Because we talk about this. I had a conversation with Rand about the Xbox One X selling out, and he said it wasn't true. It wasn't going to happen. But I think it's going to do extremely well at launch. I'm telling you, 1 million, maybe 2.
Well, if we get Rand on the show, I can't be here. Every time Rand and I talk, something bad happens.
Oh Lord, talking about
first time we talked in person, Xbox One X, $500. Next time we talked in person, Crackdown 3 delayed. we can't do it.
Rand is just bad luck for you.
We can't have the same sphere. It's like we're the same person from alternate timelines, and if we connect, the world's gonna just destroy each other. Like we can't do it.
Well, anyway, listen, man, I want to thank everybody for stopping out, sticking with the show. That's going to be it for tonight. We will be back next Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you check out all our shows through the week. We got Iron Lords podcast tomorrow at noon. And I believe maybe 1 o'clock until football season starts. When football season starts, they're going to move their show back
11.
2 hours to 11. Sorry, right, to 11 a.m. in the morning. On Sundays, and then of course you got the best show on a Monday, the Multiverse podcast at 8 p.m.
We're back,
as well as Double XP podcast and Super Pod Shots on Wednesday. Currently, right now, Trophy Life is on hiatus. We are searching for a new PlayStation host for the Trophy Life podcast. So if you're a PlayStation fan and you're interested in joining the Tech Network, hit me up on Twitter at TIC_podcast. And we can work something out and talk and see how things go. Make sure you check out the Patreon. I can't talk about it enough. It is in the description below. Click on it if you enjoy our content, if you are really supporters of what we do, and love our rise from being just a podcast to where we are today. Go ahead and support. Go ahead and sub to the $1 tier, $2 tier, $7 tier. And you get a lot of great exclusive content. And, we are definitely working hard out here for you, man. Just trying to make sure we deliver you guys great content and quality rewards for your patronage. That's what it's all about. Not trying to beg for money, not for donations, but make sure you go ahead and get something worth your bread. So I want to thank everybody once again.
Donate $50. You donate $50, you can make Kal-El play any game you want.
Really?
You can had to bring that up. Yes, there's actually we had a couple people already asking and say, "Hey, if I donate $50, can I get him to play Outlast 1 and 2?"
Nobody said that, Anchorman.
No, they go look through the chat history, bro. It's there.
Guys, please, guys, listen. If you love me, don't make me play horror games. I'll play any game. Just don't make me play horror game. Please don't make me play Outlast 2 or Aliens.
Do it.
Outlast.
Do
1.
it.
Stay away from that. Make Anchor play something that frustrates him. Or make Kid Smooth play something. He's always cursing. You'll love him on TV. Just don't make me play any horror games, man. Just be out of control.
Do it.
Anyway. Well, make sure you check out.
Do it. You could be the real MVP.
Anyway, hey B, before we head out of here, man, you got anything on your mind?
No, I think I'm pretty good, man. Unfortunately, I've been kind of away a little bit, man, just on vacation. So nothing too crazy. Just looking forward to Destiny, like I mentioned before. And, and 2K, man. Everybody who plays 2K, you got to love the announcements that 2K put out in the last couple of days. Running Neighborhood is a huge announcement. Yeah, I mean, they basically made open world basketball for us. So anybody who gets down to 2K, get your My Player ready. You know what I mean? We're going to be getting busy on those courts. So I'll see y'all out there.
That's what's up. I'm going to have to pick up 2K. I got to pick up Madden too. In Destiny, I'm about to be broke. I don't even know how I'm going to get the Xbox One X if I keep buying these games. Oh, that's just crazy. Anyway, so again, hey, that's our show for this week, man. We'll be back next week, Saturday. Make sure you tune in to Tick Network for all of the network shows, and make sure you tune into Patreon to get that exclusive content. On the Patreon, you will get Tick uncensored. We're talking about full-blown, not family-friendly, put the kids to bed, Tick at night on the Tick Network Patreon, man. Just check out the Patreon. Really cool stuff going on there. So again, I'm your host, KLWAR SKL, the last son of Planet Xbox with Anchorman V and B Money 101. And thank you guys for stopping in. Give us a thumbs up once again, and we will see you next week. Have a great night. Peace.